I was just gonna say that'd be cool if there were world events that affected everyone at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think KvltDeFi, you touched on that earlier, didn't you? You were saying something, like earthquakes or something.
Yeah, earthquakes. It's what SimCity did back in the day.
You could do is have say like a world event will be like the government cracks down on so and so, taxes for gunpowder goes up, therefore there's like bullets all of a sudden become a lot more expensive.
Or yeah, no, exactly. Like call it like a prohibition thing where like booze all of a sudden is more cracked down on. So now it is actually higher risk to smuggle booze. So it costs more to smuggle it, but the payoff is greater, right?
Correct.
If you are successful.
Maybe a politician gets knocked off and now petty crimes are like a lot more dangerous to do in a particular city, perhaps.
And it could even roll. It could even roll like a wave mechanic. So petty crimes, shit, I don't want to bring politics or anything into it, but like when people build blockades in a particular city to protest things, those could actually roll through different cities or different countries that they're under unrest, if they're degentrified and the populace isn't Robin Hooded. So that way that the actual families are responsible for their NPC characters that exist within that own ecosystem. And that would... Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that's why I'm so interested with the market cap feature of all these in-game items that we have currently at our disposal, is witnessing the market cap. Like if you imagine just from a market standpoint where you have these are not like planned or timed events, but this just so happens to become a thing. You know, one thing that Jacob has brought up is in a time of war, like say you got a couple large families on full scale war, that health is going to become very valuable, right? So those who own hospitals will become more profitable. And the reason is because there's more demand than supply on it, right? So that's going to be reflected, I believe, within the market cap. So the more supply of something there is, then maybe that increases the market cap short term, but then the more demand it then spits out on the other end also could increase the market cap. And when things go down where you're not looking at, nobody really needs, a franc or whatever at a particular point in time, then, perhaps that market cap goes down also in a time of peace, that sort of thing. People aren't as worried about getting attacked. So yeah, right. The market cap feature really tipped me off as, maybe it's a red herring, but I feel like it could become very important statistic.
Well, that's the whole thing about having games be systemic. Like everyone has system design when they go into level design, game design. There is a system in play. Now, systemic design, which is pretty much the mainstream of Arcane, is that mythos, RIP Arcane Austin, or how Baldur's Gate 3 handles it, is it stacks so many intrinsic systems on top of each other and bakes them down to this rolling gear that has to roll so many other simulations at the same time. And because of that dynamism, when something becomes lopsided, the system counterbalances it out with a different type of mechanic use case or encounter that allows that to have a balancing loop outside of the reinforcement loop, especially if you have an invasive species, right? They have no predators like murder hornets or kudzu and the northeastern Carolinas and all the rest. Because there's no predators for that area, it doesn't have its own balancing loop to allow it to handle the nature and nurture aspect of life. And so that's really what's interesting about games, is you have that ability to, not just from the start, it doesn't happen at day one, but it can evolve into that, which makes the game even that much more interesting for a long-term player. It also gives the newbie guy the ability to enjoy perfect storm opportunities to catch some interesting growth availability for their own personal character or their own personal story, or the longevity of where they want to inject themselves into this dynamic system.
So that being said, Kool-Aid, have you figured out if you can wear a bomb suit within an armored car while sitting inside your headquarters adjacent to your shop.
Well, the real question is can you wear a bulletproof vest on side of a bulletproof suit inside of a bulletproof car? Now, the bulletproof car didn't say how many seats that are in there. So now you could have your entourage on there, and then you stack your bulletproof motorcycle on top of the hood of your bulletproof car. And then from there, you take that onto your bulletproof plane. And that, my friend, is how you get Club Med.
And then your cooldown to cross the street is 6 years. No problem.
All you gotta do is you gotta stack that on top of the chicken that crossed the road because he's already going across the road. So you're fucking good there. Just make sure always on top of the chicken, no turn allocation required.
That's awesome.